Hey, hey, girl. What's up, girl? What's your vibes like this week, girl?
Hey, Chi girl. Honestly, I've been trying to reset my focus for this coming up
Girl.
week. Like, I was really just cleaning, studying, relaxing, watching some series. We'll talk about that later. But, girl, how you feeling? What's your
Oh,
vibe like?
yes. Girl, stressed, tired, girl. I'm just sipping on this Jim Beam because I need to just wind down a little bit. But Vibe's been good. Vibe's been positive, but just hustling. You know how we do as young ladies out here, just hustling. That's going to get into kind of our topics on being young ladies and hustling and still trying to be a young lady at the same time. Is that a conflict of interest? So
Right.
that's what we're going to talk about today. What you sipping on? What you vibing on before we get into the topics, girl?
Yes, girl. I just grabbed my little last glass of wine for this week before I start my little detox. So it's just a
Okay.
red. I won't give out the brand because maybe they'll sponsor us, but it's a
Okay.
dry red and more towards Cabernet, girl.
Yes, honey.
Yes,
Yes, honey.
honey. So,
Well,
more kind of like something like that. But
well,
go
good
ahead and
luck
get
on
into
your
these topics. What's
detox,
on
girl.
your
You're always
mind?
doing your detox, so good luck on your detox.
I try to do it like quarterly. Honestly, I do. I try to do like 3 day juice or water, like 1 day water, a few days juicing, and then like clean eating, and then that helps kind of reset. My skin is something that's really big that I've been working on. Like, it
Yeah.
just goes through its own changes, and I notice like when I eat different things or if I'm stressing, like my skin reacts to it. So I just know
Yeah.
like overall my body is taking a little break, girl, from some of the stuff that I've been partaking in
Yeah.
moderation. So thanks for the encouragement, sis. I'm definitely gonna
Yes,
keep you
honey.
posted.
Yes, please keep
Not even
us
a meeting, like we're
posted.
recording. Yes, I'm definitely gonna give an update.
Yes, honey. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into the first vibe today. So, girl, it's so much going on out here. So, let's talk about it. I want to get your thoughts about it. So, question number one: what are your thoughts about putting your name on the LLC and forming an operational agreement when doing business with a significant other? What are your thoughts about that? Is that wrong? Is that a red flag? Or is that the right thing to do?
That's a valid question. I guess my follow-up question for you would be how deeply invested are you in this business? And is it going to be like a legitimate business that will be bringing in profit, residual income? Like, what's the goal? Is it just like
Yeah.
y'all theoretically working together? Or is it going to be some official company entity that you're forming?
An official company entity that you're forming, that the goal is to scale up and make lots of money, but this is your significant other that you love so much, and you trust that person, whether male or female, you trust that person with all your heart, but the other side is like, this is business. So how do you not mess up, the love and the trust and the emotions? But then on business side, it's just business. How do you put that together, or do you not put that together?
Right. Okay. So I get your question, especially since you said like forming an LLC and like putting paperwork. And I guess I just wanted you to reiterate because, if it's something that's going to be a legal binding contract, that's how it should be handled in my mind. So if we are deciding to form a company together, then now we are entering another level of commitment. It's not our marriage anymore only. It's our marriage in addition to our assets. Like, this is our income that's coming in. This is like our time, our money. This is another investment. It's a contract. Like, we're going into a different arrangement at this point. And I feel like it should be carried out appropriately. Like, you wouldn't get into any other legal binding contract with somebody like a marriage or, I mean, children. I guess that could go either way. But you know what I'm saying? Like, would you
Right.
sign a contract with somebody if you didn't feel like that was a legitimate like operations? Or would you work for somebody and not have some type of benefits? It's just like, to me,
Yeah.
one of the things, right? So I think like both parties, if it's your significant other, have to be very mature and be willing to put certain hats on at the right time, and move accordingly. And at the same time, like, you should know this person even deeper than you would know just a random business person off the street or a corporation that you just hired for.
Right.
Y'all should have a different level of understanding. So I think it can be done, but it does require a certain type of relationship dynamic within that significant other relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have to be able to be like, okay, we can function in multiple, as like, you respect me as a worker, as a professional, right? So then if we go into business, I would expect that same respect. Like, I'm your wife too, so I can move accordingly. You have to be able to move accordingly too, because as a businesswoman, these are my requirements.
Yeah.
So if that's what you want to go into with me, then you have to accept me as that person.
It's true.
Right? Does that make sense?
So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But then my question is that sexy though? Because, does that mess up the sex life? Because in one space, we're cracking business, we're signing contracts, and in every business, there may be different ideas. But how do we differ in business and then go behind closed doors and we making love and stuff like that? Would that mess up things? Do you think? I know. I thought, like, that aggression, but
yeah, you can have like a whole acting situation, role play afterwards. I would think, if you make it fun, if you can, right? Like, I don't see why not, because to me, somebody that's business minded, when I've dated guys that are like very business minded and we talk and discuss business, that's a turn on. So
I think so.
Yeah, I would be towards, okay, we handle this business, that's sexy, we're making this money. Let's go ahead and get to the actual things now. Let's transition.
Right.
Real quick.
You know what? Yeah, you know what, CeCe, I agree with you 100%. I feel like it does require a level of communication, a level of understanding and respect, and I think it can be very fun. I know that it can be a lot of mixing up feelings in it, but I think that with the right level of respect and people, I think that it can be really a good idea. So those are just thoughts that I've been hearing around and with different ladies I speak with, and then, kind of understand their vibes. So I want to bring that up to everybody and see if other people are, going through this, or what are their thoughts and things like that, because, it's a real thing that people go through,
it definitely is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it's something just to consider, because, everybody's perspective is different when it comes to like handling business. Like, I think communication, and it's the mindset, kind of like to your point, like, if y'all could be on the same, not necessarily the quote unquote, the exact same page or whatever, because you may have differing opinions when it comes to business partnerships.
Right.
It's kind of like, hey, this is a contract, I'm your partner, you're my partner, and I want to move accordingly, and let's be able to switch it up too if we need to, like, and get back to that intimate side. I think it's more so of like being open-minded and being mature about your business relationship and your personal relationship and making sure that's intact. So, everybody's not able to do it. It might be just theoretical. Guys may feel different depending on like who's the breadwinner, like who's going to be putting in the most money. Like, there's a lot of things you consider, but I do feel like it can be done, and it can be done well.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But what is the difference between having a business with your significant other and then being on the LLC and forming an operation agreement, rather than just being a significant other and still supporting them and helping them with their business? Should you just do that, or does that's like not smart? And this is like legitimate business, but you just want to be their significant other and just help them out with everything with no paperwork. Is that smart, or it depends? What would you do?
I personally, like, if we're just shooting the breeze and I really don't have anything invested, I know I'm not going to be putting too much time into this endeavor. Like, I support you, I hear you out, but honestly, I'm not going to be helping you set up any applications or fill out paperwork or follow up. Like, I'm just contributing just some brief knowledge every now and then.
Right.
Because that's your endeavor at this point. I have no real ties to it.
That makes sense.
As soon as it becomes like, I'm more invested and I'm giving you my resources and my time and my monetary, then that's a different level of investment that we're looking consider. And I personally
Yeah.
feel like, okay, well, you might be doing more of the work. Just put me on the contract though, because I'm invested right now, with my money. So
Right.
20%, whatever it may be, what makes sense to us.
Yeah.
But once it becomes, because your time is valuable. Like, there's so many things you could be doing with your time, your money. Of course, that's if you're married, of course, that's both of y'all's money and stuff like
Of
that.
course.
But at the same time, like, if you're working for a particular, I don't know why I just slipped and thought about something else. But anyways, if you are putting in your same amount of effort, or at least a portion of your effort, then I think that should be counted monetarily. Like, you should get some type of dividends.
I think so. And you brought up a good point about your money, my money. So in a relationship, like, what do you think about joint accounts and having separate accounts? So I know in a marriage, there's joint accounts, but then sometimes people have separate accounts. Like, when you get married tomorrow, what does that look like for you? What does your household look like for you? Do you look like you're going to do 50-50 with the bills and then have a joint account and a separate account, or just all one account? Like, what does that vision look like for you? I'm just nosy at this point, girl. Don't worry. It's just me sipping on this.
I'm like, well, you already in it. What are you really doing? That's the true question. But we'll loop back around to that.
Yes, honey.
I think for me, I think we will have a joint and separate. But at the same time, like, joint and separate, both, potentially. Like, I'm okay with having both, like having my own credit card or whatever, and my own other expenses. But I do believe there should be a household account, and a certain amount, like 50-50 of the check should be going into that account. But then, like, if my husband decides, like, okay, well, you can pay for just electricity or whatever and the phone bills, and I'll pay for everything else, I'm going to let him do it. If he wants to be like, I'll pay for everything, I'm going to let him do it. But I don't feel like, and I say this like very loosely, I wouldn't want to go beyond 50-50. Like, honestly, like, if I'm paying 75, you're paying 5, I don't know if I would agree to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that would look like. But how do you operate in those arenas? Like, being married now for a period of time, like, did it change? Has it always been the same? I want to know.
Well, I didn't know the formula, and I still don't, especially when we first started. So I was like, okay, yeah, all of us just put our money and dump it in one account. But that doesn't really work out because, you want to be, I'm big on being my own person. So when I want to do my own thing, I want to make sure that my own thing is separate from the house, right? Like, I know that the house bills and everything has been taken care of, but if I have a little change, I want to know that that's my little change. So as years continue, we have a joint account, and then we also have a separate account, but that still doesn't mean anything. We still are very transparent on what's in each other's accounts. It really don't matter. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I think it's just, what was that?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I do have a question. Like, do you see each other's account statements? Like, you have access to his private account as well to see, or do y'all just discuss it verbally?
Yeah, we just discuss it verbally, but if I wanted to see it, he would just literally open up his app and then just like, here, this is what I have, and this is that, this is where it's going to. So we're very transparent, like, to the cent. So, but I still believe to have that joint and that separate. And now in terms of the bills and things like that, ideally in a perfect world, hell, I wouldn't want to pay no bills, honey. Pay your bills, man. Be a boss. Do your thing, baby. And let me sit here and pay nothing. But in real reality, and that's probably not feasible, especially when you have lots of kids and things like that. So I'm okay with. We don't gonna do 50-50. We just do everybody, whatever money we have, we pay the bills. If somebody's short here, everybody just pick up the slack. So that's kind of how we do it, and it works for us. And that's, it works. I'm actually a very giving person, so I'm not going to just do 50-50 and be like, type stuff. I may have done that in the past, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, hold on, 50-50, brother. Like, hold on, bro. But now I'm just like, it doesn't even make sense. We're like 4 kids in. So all the money is just like, make sure everything is paid off. And then if we have extra, then, everybody's free to do whatever they want to do with their money. But that's kind of how I feel. But then sometimes I do feel like you too, though. Like if it becomes too much, like if you're doing 70 and that person's doing 30, and it's like all the time, then it's like, okay, so how can we get you or whoever the significant other, how can we get you up there? Because this will eventually become a burnout. So I definitely do get that too, because that can be forever. So
Right.
it's a
Exactly.
lot. But
No,
yeah,
that's
really,
insightful.
yeah,
No, that makes sense. It's kind of like what you're saying, whatever works for the couple. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you feel comfortable in, and like, of course, you don't have to overshare or whatever, like the exact breakdown or anything like that by any
of
means.
course.
But it seems like if you are open to like, okay, hey, I can pick up this time if I need to a little bit extra if you got next time. Or if it's a month to month thing, like, okay, we know these bills are due every month. So, like, what do you got? What are you bringing to the table? And I think for me, I'm just going to speak it like, honestly, I want a man that's going to pay the bills. Like, personally, that's not something that I'm ever going to say that I don't want. But I
Of
feel
course.
like reasonably, like you said, realistically in our society, I mean, you kind of have to look at like what you're getting involved with from the front end. I would think like, what is that man's habits? Does he want to pay the bills? Like, is he okay with that? Like, you really have to have a talk with your partner before even going into some type of marriage. And then there's other things you can't even account for. So, yeah, I think it's good to have like an idea of like, I really don't want to like burn out and be beyond 50-50.
Right.
But I mean, get into those trenches, you just never know
Yeah.
how it's going to fall. Like, that's really what it
Right.
comes
But
down
that
to.
all
So,
goes back to our theme of communication. Is this a communication thing? Things do happen and just communicate, communicate, communicate. Because I feel like that's going to
right.
be eventually, the savior of it all. But, these are
Yeah,
tough, girl. These are
it's
tough.
good. Good things to think about. Like it honestly changes the perspective. Even just hearing you out a little bit more, it's like okay, I'm a little bit more open to like some other considerations. But I feel like mostly we're on the same page with it. I mean, I
Yeah.
wonder if it's just like consensus, like as maybe women, we have where it's like okay, this makes the most sense under the circumstance. But when we have guests and stuff, like I would love to get multiple opinions and everything. Like,
Hmm.
is this like a general feeling, or does people really do better yet? Do people really think other things about it? Other ways about it.
Right,
Very
right. And if
interesting.
y'all have any, if the viewers, if y'all have any thoughts, concerns, opinions, please put it in the comment. Let's talk about it because we want to know what you think because these are real life situations that, people go through and we're curious. So, are we on the same page or maybe we're not? Like, let's talk about it.
Exactly.
So yes. So girl, speaking about relationships and drama and all this, have you been keeping up with the Real Housewives of Potomac?
Actually, I just caught up with it today. Like
Oh Lord,
literally, I
yeah.
just caught up with Karen's episode of her little stand up, whatever that thing was, right?
Oh my gosh. I don't know what that was. I was like, what's going on now?
I still don't know what it is. But I
No.
mean, the episode, like the way it's progressing and how they're trying to like portray Chris, I
Oh
feel
my, I
like
hate
the
that. Oh my gosh.
potential. I like every time you go back to the recording, you see this man not doing anything, minding his
Nothing.
own business, and y'all have the audacity because you've been jaded or whatever. It's such
This
a
is
freaking
This is
yeah.
and this happens in real life. Like people just make up lies on a normal guy that's doing good for themselves, and you don't. Fortunately, he has the cameras on him. But when you
Yeah,
can't speak on the process, and you just got to speak with your mouth, and you already know the odds are against you, then you don't just lost it all.
right. Exactly. It's he say she say at that point.
Yeah,
It's
it's so
wild.
sad. I don't understand her motive.
Who Ashley?
Her friend and Ashley, like
Oh,
what?
the
Why?
friend. Yeah, the friend like seems like she's a hater. Like, girl, that man never did none of the stuff you were talking about. Why are
None.
you being delusional? Unless they're in cahoots. Unless they're like, okay, well, we're gonna play the same storyline, so at least it's two against one or whatever. But it
Right.
still looks real petty, and it doesn't really make sense visually
Right.
or story. Like, girl, we watching it too. Everybody saw the
Right.
playback. Like, what?
The
Wait till
editors,
you
they wrong for that. They was
girl,
showing
he
all
was not
clips.
looking at her.
I know he was looking at his phone, minding his business. He's like, oh yeah, hey.
Right.
I'm like, what's
Right.
going on right now? Isn't she supposedly married or something? So why are you putting yourself out there? I mean, people do anything for the cup of change.
I know. And it's like, you've been friends with her for how long? It just seems very concocted in my mind.
Yeah, I don't like how they're doing that. That's like actually very disgusting. Like I could do without that scene actually.
Right.
Like
It's
don't do
pathetic.
that. Like that's
And then they had
just
the audacity to like try to bring Wendy's husband into it too. You saw that? They're
oh my
like,
gosh. Leave the poor man alone. Like come on. Like why the husbands? Why are y'all playing with the husbands? Like for what?
right,
Like they're breaking up homes. Like that's a real
right. You don't
thing.
have anything else because you don't have a storyline. And you don't want to talk about
Yeah.
your storyline and your husband doing some ridiculous stuff that he's been doing, that you've been knowing about. Like, it's a difference, if somebody has a pattern of being shady and nasty and
Right.
gross, and then somebody that has had a pattern of just being very respectful, very humble, not getting into anything. It's like, y'all trying to flip the story now? It's real wild.
Right.
It's real disrespectful to me.
Right. Robin needs to worry about getting her wedding together and minding people's other husbands alone. I mean,
Right.
y'all need to, if y'all getting married, y'all not getting married. What's going on? Tell me. Married? No marriage. You're not buying your mama? Why not? Like, what's going on right now? Y'all not really getting married or y'all, what is this? Like, she's really just giving me weird. Like her and Giselle, Robin and Giselle are just giving me weird. Like I'm like, what's going on? Because you know what happened with Candace and Monique. Like I don't know, that's 2
Yeah.
seasons ago. How they was all acting like they was scared and they was frightened. They couldn't believe holding the pearls. They couldn't believe that Monique did all this and dragged Candace for filth, whatever. But Mia threw water at Wendy for no reason.
Very aggressive.
I don't even know what happened, but why you threw
Right.
water?
Just
And then, yeah, that's assault actually. And that could really hurt somebody, depending on what's in that water too. And the glass could have cut her face off, but that's a whole nother story. And then Robin putting her on her camera just in case it gets edited out. And you're gonna allegedly say that you were trying to protect Wendy? How? You wasn't egging her on to fight.
how?
How is that protecting her? So it's just like it's very ridiculous. You wanted to end her life.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all, I almost want to say, and people are like, oh, it's not colorism. It's not colorism. It's giving colorism. Can we talk about
It's
it?
giving something. Let's
It's
talk
giving-
about it. It's giving something. I don't know what it is,
The vibe
but
is
it's
not
giving
right.
something.
The vibe is very one-sided and lopsided. It seems like it's
Yeah.
teetering. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all didn't come with that same energy when the situation took place, and Mia literally was the aggressor. Now, just because, again, Wendy was using her words,
Yes.
Mia, you got aggressive. And
Yeah.
and you literally jumped out your seat and threw a glass of water at somebody. Like,
And try to hit her with your little purse.
yeah. Like,
Hey.
really?
She said that you and your husband are sleeping with other people, which is true. What did she say wrong? Mia admits it. Y'all sleep for
Where's the
folks.
lie? Where's
Where's the lie?
I don't see it.
I don't see it at all. You sleep. She sleeps with everybody. It is what it is. Allegedly. Allegedly. Let's just put a disclaimer. Allegedly. She said it. I didn't say it. Hi, y'all.
Right?
Too.
She admitted to it. Right, girl.
Yeah. I mean, she's having fun. It's not, I mean, have your fun. I'm not judging you. Have your fun. If you and your husband, if it works for you and your husband, it works for me. I love it. Have your fun, but don't throw some tea or throw some glass at the young lady for just telling you what you're doing. You did.
How it is. Right. And now
Right.
you want to go tell your story, and Giselle, people jumping up, seeing you in the shower. Like, it's getting real sloppy.
It's real
And
sloppy.
I think all of them, like, it's getting real sloppy. It's like, make up the storyline, okay? Make up, not even the storyline, but it's kind of like, are y'all trying to, like, all get on this team and then attack these 2 women? You know what I'm saying? Like, excluding them? Because it's like, Wendy and Candace, to me, are, like, in the hot seat. Now, Mia, of course, people are going back, sharing her business, but she's been sharing her business. So it's like, I don't know why you're surprised and mad at, like,
Right.
yeah, you don't care.
Right.
You were out here exposing yourself in your business.
Right,
So I guess
isn't that cheating? Like you sleeping with your friend and taking showers with him on a vacation. I thought it's not cheating if you with your man doing it. But when he's not with your man, isn't that a relationship? Or I don't know.
And how did you feel about Gordon like being in the middle of that? Did you see that episode where he was like he wasn't necessarily in the middle, but it was Jacqueline and Mia. They were talking with Gordon, and it seemed like he was just kind of going along with it.
Oh, I must have. I
Like
don't.
you didn't see that episode when they were all on the couch or whatever, and that's when they had discussed Gordon buying Jacqueline's Range Rover or whatever, like giving the down payment.
Okay. That's probably the
Okay,
most recent one. I gotta watch that one. Okay, I probably
Okay.
missed it. Okay, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
But Gordon, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at him in all kinds of weird ways. I'm like, you get asked like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. I
I
mean,
don't
you
know.
got
I
money.
think
You got money. If you got money, I get
stay
you.
home. Shoot.
Yeah. Do y'all agree? If you got money,
I
you get
wouldn't do
asked. You say you wouldn't do it?
it.
You wouldn't talk to
I
Gordon?
personally wouldn't want to play that role. No,
Mm.
I wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
Simon, Portia's husband, yes.
Ching
You
ching.
wouldn't talk to
Yes.
Simon?
Yeah.
All
He's
money is not good money.
handsome. Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
He's handsome.
mm,
I'm sorry, Portia. We love you, Portia.
no, we do love Portia. We happy for her. Like, she is
We're
the whole
very
thing
happy
out
for her.
here.
I love her.
Somebody likes Simon, you know what I'm saying. Somebody
Right.
likes Simon.
Right. Sorry, Portia. We
Somebody
love you
likes
too
Simon.
much.
Somebody like Gordon. Yeah, it's like we love her. We don't want her man or anything.
Right.
Like,
Right. Woo. We don't want that smoke.
all hated men or whatever. But it's
Right.
like, girl, no, because we want you on the show too, Portia. We love you. We
Right.
want to know how you did it. Like, we already knew how you did it, but
Mm-hmm.
all out of love.
Portia, if
She's
you on here,
beautiful. Like,
come tell us how you did it. Tell us how you did it, Portia. If you on here, tell us. We need to know. The people need to know. Yes.
we know you're beautiful, but obviously beauty doesn't get everybody where they want to be. Like, she has a whole fairy tale. Of course, we're the outsiders, but not jumping gears too much. I just thought it was interesting seeing her story like develop.
Yeah, I'm happy for her. I wish her the best. I wish she has a long marriage. I absolutely love Portia. So then that's that. Well, that's all the vibes I had today, girl. It was a lot. I'm glad you was able to share some. I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to put in the comments. You know, what are we wrapping up with today?
I think we should just wrap up with some good chill music. Like, take a nice bath, get ready for the week, set the intention, girl. My vibe right now is just like a focused balance. Like,
Yes.
we're going to talk more because I have some topics just popping up in my mind. But yeah, we can vibe out.
Yes.
Speak later, girl. Enjoy
All right,
the
girl.
rest of your night. Okay.
Bye, girl.